Ukraine is now under a full-blown Russian attack. Hundreds of Ukrainians are fleeing war with Russia. Many have crossed over to Poland, some to Hungary, and some to Romania. Tensions are running high over the safety of Ukrainians. This as a humanitarian crisis unfolds in Europe. Here now is a report.
Desperate Ukrainians are fleeing the Russian invasion, flooding highways, trains and bus stations. And Europe is bracing for an influx. That of thousands of Ukrainian refugees. Beelines of cars rushed out of Kiev. This shortly before Russia began bombing civilian areas in the Ukrainian capital. Russian troops are now inching closer to Kiev.
I'm from Lviv. The mood is patriotic. I'll take my children away and return. We will fight this off. Ukraine will win no matter what.
In the meantime, the United Nations has called on European countries. This to keep their borders open for the displaced Ukrainians. According to the UN Refugee Agency, around 100,000 people have already fled within Ukraine. Thousands more have taken shelter. Where? In neighbouring Poland and Hungary. Meanwhile, Poland's border is opening 9 reception centres, offering meals and medical care to the Ukrainian refugees. This train arrived in the Polish town of Przemyśl on Thursday. Hundreds of passengers on board from eastern Ukraine's Kharkiv. Some 15,000 Ukrainians have already crossed over to Poland since the invasion, a figure quoted by border authorities.
We've actually been very lucky to get out of Ukraine with the second to last train that was coming here. We've spent last 16 hours using all of our luck coming here. Many of our friends will get refugee status, but we are fortunate enough to have our accommodation planned. And we are very happy that we have our friends in Poland that are ready to help our people.
Meanwhile, Kharkiv too was rocked by explosions. Smoke billowing from buildings. The panic is palpable at the Luzhanka border crossing. It connects Hungary with Ukraine, currently packed with hundreds of cars. Hungarian authorities are sending troops to the border. This to deal with the refugee influx. Sounds of sirens and missiles resonated all day across Ukrainian cities. Residents scrambled to take shelter in underground subway stations. Meanwhile, in the strategic port city of Mariupol, houses were on fire and buildings were damaged. Russian troops launched extensive missile attacks across the city. A massive upsurge of attacks was seen in the Donbas region. The territory is now controlled by Russian-backed separatists. Multiple buildings destroyed and dozens of lives lost. Residents are now ramping up efforts to evacuate the region.
In around 3 minutes, another one came here, right into the factory workshop, and those people were hit who didn't have time to hide.
As many as 5 million Ukrainians could be displaced. This, according to Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield. She is the US representative to the United Nations. For Europeans, the massive humanitarian crisis could be the greatest since World War II. Are the United States and its allies prepared? Bureau Report, WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.